Oh, what a fool I am. Walking this weary path. Oh dear. Oh, what a fool I am. A short cream. That's me. A relocation for permanently relocating. And a warrant goes out for your arrest in that province. Storms are coming. Because honestly, the fact that they sentence people to like treatment centers, why not just put them in a place where they can't get into their criminal ties again? Relocating is not the problem. A relocation's not going to fix it, rather. But like Australia, quite literally a prison colony. They have a Wikipedia of like criminals who went on to be like mayors and shit. And that's like literally intentionally relocating people, and then they built an entire country out of it. Because they already exist the infrastructure to do this. It's just somebody needs to go ahead and say, go do it. I want to be that person, but it doesn't really matter. Because it's about the fruits of the tree, not the roots of the tree. Will it bear good fruits? And I'm not really sure if they already do this for penitentiary time. I was thinking both, federal and provincial. You kick them out the province if they take the relocation deal. Because forced relocation is kind of unethical. You can't really force people out of their homes if they don't want to. You dangerous offender them instead, and you force them out, which is what basically the criminal system will do. So they'll be like, you've committed so many crimes repetitively in this area. We're gonna DO you, and they're not gonna like go for the DO because that means they have to commit. They're just gonna like let the defense lawyer know that they're thinking of DOing, and they will acquiesce to a relocation bargain. I've seen this so many times. NCRMD will say the same. It doesn't really matter if you go out to the same community or not as NCRMD. It's just the way the system treats you. You're just scum anywhere. What am I hearing? If I keep it held tilted, you won't hear the wind. Just the double microphone picks up matching sounds. It's like a scintillator. I would assume anyway, if that's good programming. I want an oscilloscope. That would be fucking awesome. I have no idea how people perceive me. And it's actually kind of funny because I noticed my eyes kind of, or my eyebrows. Anyway, I think it's like a fucking great idea because 90% of the crime, reoccurring crime after they've gone to jail, is probably not genetic. 90% probably. But like, if it is genetic, then they're gonna get dangerous offenders anyway, or spend their entire life in jail regardless of a DO status designation. Would be a better word. I'm a lawyer, so it's like, and also there's a fucking staunch lack of investing in the criminal to rehabilitate them. Because you can't just be like, we're gonna send you to fucking live in some brick walls where you don't have a job, you don't contribute to society, you don't do any of that, and we're gonna tell you to get out of those brick walls after a certain time is up, and then we're gonna tell you to get a job and contribute to society. And you've had all this practice because we invested in you by putting you inside brick walls. The rehabilitation system should be scrapped because under its name and auspices, it does no such thing. They should be calling it a reinvestment program, and it should be reinvesting because that's what they do here, and it has like a 3%, less than 3% recidivism within 2 or 5 years. I think 5 years is like 0.44%. I'm making these up because I can't remember exactly what they are, but it is below 5% for both, and it's like well below 5%. Because they give you groups, they put you under a board, which makes you very, very scared for your future. Because nobody wants to stay here. In a system where it's an indefinite sentence and your behavior is marked scrupulously and under great scrutiny, it's like, and if you like hit anybody, you come back or you stay in the hospital for a year at least, give or take. Give or take a year. Give or take a year, like give or take like 5 months backwards and 2 to 3 years forwards, just for hitting somebody. And I know this because I literally know people in the hospital who have done that. And like, and it's interesting that they assume the crazy person, who is quite literally crazy, can be rehabilitated more so than a person who came from a bad environment. A lot of the time. That's why they're all so short. You look at the average size, stature of a provincial jail inmate. Under average. I have no idea why she phones so late. It's like she's intentionally. I have awareness of that. That's she's probably not intentionally doing that. I should actually ask her to call me sooner because I have to be out there like 8:40 to catch the bus. I literally cannot make it down in 22 minutes. It's 9:08, and she phones me for a group at 9:30, and it takes 30 minutes at least to walk down there. What was I saying? Oh yeah, assuming criminal pathology. I don't know what pathology means, but I'm going to use it anyway. Is genetic and fully genetic? Then why do we have maximum sentences? Also, maximum sentences are the dumbest thing. Death sentences too, because like, what would you expect the point of them to be? You would expect. That was Rick. It's an episode. You would expect them to deter people from committing crime. Why do people commit crime then? Oh shit! I thought that was Karen. I waved at that, and they very weakly waved back. Like genuinely. I have read studies. I should rephrase that to make it more sound concrete, because there's stigma around my intellectual status. Because I'm schizophrenic, I could be hallucinating it. My brain shrinks due to the antipsychotics. I could be misremembering it. There have been studies done to compare the conviction rates between states with the death penalty and states without the death penalty. I think controlling for factors, I didn't actually read too far into it. But basically, they found the exact same conviction rate. No, it wasn't conviction rate. It was occurrence of crime. It was the rate of crime that would elicit the death penalty. Compared to the states who, with the same crime, would not get the death penalty, they get life in prison or whatever their equivalent would be. Crime rates were exactly the same. I think across the board in states with the death penalty compared to states without. So, like, it's not that the death penalty, and don't get me wrong, it's not that the death penalty doesn't work to deter people. It's just the simple principle. You wouldn't do it if you thought you were going to get caught. Like, if you 100% thought you were going to get caught, whatever the punishment, say you get a slap on the wrist from your parents, you wouldn't do it. Like, if there was a camera literally looking at your crime scene that fed directly into the police station, you wouldn't do it. I am the exception because I'm crazy and I thought I was saving the world. Because I did literally think that they were like on my side, the police and the firefighters. I would say I don't know how I thought that, but I know how I thought that. I am crazy, like literally insane. But the average person doesn't have a mental disorder. So the average person, if they knew they were going to get caught and like knew it in their heart, why would they do it? Oh, 10 years minimum sentence for this crime. Okay, I'll see you in 10 years. Oh, what the fuck? Because I literally, and I know this because I know a guy who went to federal time. Federal. Not just provincial, where the crimes are so small and petty that it doesn't really matter. You spend like max 2 years of your life and that's it. And then you're back out on the streets. Besides that being a homeless circulation, and like some I don't actually know the degree to which that is true, but I know it is true because I've heard people who are also homeless who they get cold in the winter, they go attack somebody or they go steal something and bang. Those people also know they're going to get caught, and they do it intentionally because the justice system is fucking criminal. Oh, I remember this. Like I would get on a tangent and I forget where I was going. And I know this because I knew a federal guy, and he basically inquisitively, I assume. I don't actually know. Basically, it came up where he was like, he noticed that every fucking person in there was like, if it hadn't been for this one thing, I wouldn't have been caught. Generalizing. If it hadn't been for the thing that got me caught, I wouldn't have been caught. And like, it was a staunchly biased. Like, according to this guy who went to penitentiary. He what? If it hadn't been, and it wasn't even like, oh yeah, he asked a bunch of people this, and he came to the conclusion that it was almost like unanimous. That they just thought they weren't going to get caught. And that makes complete sense. Because, like, again, who records their crime is another way to put it. It is almost inconceivable. You have to be mentally ill to record your crime because that would mean that if they found it, you would get caught and dealt with accordingly. Like, you have to be fucking insane to record your crime. Because that's definitive proof that you did it. And that would mean that you knew you were going to get caught. Or at least increase the chances significantly. And it's interesting because I think psychopaths, in some rare cases of like murderers, I guess I should say, I shouldn't call them psychopaths because not all murderers are psychopaths, but serial killers, usually very deranged. Do you think the Zodiac killer recorded his crimes? I think that was a bit too. No, that was video cameras. Cameras, even. But my point is, psychopathy and people who are serial killers are usually deranged. And I use the term interesting. I happen to not have psychopathy, or at least I don't score. I scored low on the psychopathy checklist, which doesn't mean I'm not a psychopath, but it does mean that I'm not a psychopath, depending on how much credence you put into a test, which detects psychopaths intentionally. Like, it is the best test that we have for detecting a psychopath. And amusingly, it doesn't mean fuck all for recidivism. So these are just my thoughts since I tweeted yesterday, or not tweeted, said yesterday, posted on my blog. At least I think it was yesterday. I finally figured it out. How to reload prisoners ethically. If you don't steal me to it, steal me. If you don't steal me to it. Does that make sense? I hadn't actually finished the rest of that sentence, so I was just gonna. If you steal me to it, I still get the satisfaction. Because it's not about the credit, it's about the system. Like, it is literally, I want to mold the world in my fucking eyes. Through my eyes. By my eyes. And I want to do things that I care about. Like, marginalized people. I want to demarginalize them. Feel free to comment any flaws to my logic. Okay, bye. Gonna give it a pause this time.